Good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Yeah, just to explain quickly, last week I didn't upload, obviously, if you guys noticed. Reason being I was quite unwell. I had a fever, chest infection. I was actually on antibiotics for it as well. But I'm feeling quite a bit better now. Still a bit of a cough, but I mean, I'll survive. And I want to quickly say something. I took a trade on gold. Now, I know I say time and time again, I only trade EU and I only look at EU, but I think it's good that I look at multiple pairs because of the fact that EU hasn't been doing a lot very recently, and I've been staring at the charts every single day, but no trades have occurred basically. What I was looking for in EU, as I've said many times, is buys, but we have got a massive gap down this morning, as you can see, and that's, I think, due to the tariffs that America implicated over the weekend on Canada, Mexico, and things like that. So we've got a ginormous gap down. And what I was actually hoping for instead was this to come slowly down, like so I could actually look for the buys. But because it's now just dropped like this, I'm currently not looking to buy it. Unless it obviously gives me some sort of lower degree thing on the 15-minute, then maybe I'll be interested. But currently, this is just looking very impulsive to me all the way down. So at the moment, I am actually expecting this to break this bottom one more time. We could even go to parity, which is one. Obviously, it's equal to the dollar, which is what parity is. So we may get that level down, but at the moment, because of how close it came, I'm not really interested in buys for most of the start of the week, unless it obviously keeps breaking down even further, down to like parity level around here. And at that point, it could give another reaction, which could be my buy setups. Now, if we go over to gold, what I'm looking for in gold, and yes, I am going to start trading gold and start talking to you about gold. Now, for the bigger picture, I am expecting sells as we're at all-time highs currently on gold. But the thing is, because of all the tariffs and things like that, and also the seasonality, gold, in a way, is actually quite strong at the moment. But, I mean, short term, there could still be some sell setups that I could be taking before they go break up again. So I could be taking these short-term sells. But we have to really wait and see. The structures, for me, come first above everything else. So if I see a clear structure, if I see a clear break to the downside, and then a slow corrective structure, I'll definitely be looking to sell it. At the moment, this isn't very slow. This is quite sharp. So unless we get something like this, like that, then I would be interested in selling it. But currently, as it's currently looking, it may just go break this top again. But we have had a nice break to the downside currently. But again, like I've said time and time again, structures always come first for me. And that is what I'll be basically focusing on. I do actually have a job interview today at 12:30. It's currently 8:30, so in 4 hours I have an interview. It's for a appointment coordinator for a investment company in London. It's completely remote, so I can do it from home, which is definitely what I want. But that will be very part-time. That will only be like maybe 10-12 hours a week. It won't be a lot. But it's just a little bit of extra income to have along the side, which is obviously very, very nice. So wish me luck in that, and hopefully it goes very, very well for me. I'll keep you guys updated if there's any setups on the charts, but currently I think Monday is going to be quite a quiet one, which in a way might be quite nice to start the week with a nice relaxing start. Okay, so guys, it's coming up to just after 5 p.m. currently, still on the Monday. Charts have been moving, but not really showing any setups, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm just going to have a quiet one. We did have manufacturing PMI for the US dollar today. It gave a bit of volume in the euro, and obviously gold just has volume all the time anyway because it's gold. But yeah, no setups. I couldn't really see any. So hopefully Tuesday does give me some more. But I did obviously have my job interview today, so that went quite well, I think. It was a group interview, so it was like 15 people in one call together talking. But yeah, I think it went very, very well, so I'm very, very pleased with it. And hopefully I'll hear back from them soon. So yeah, this evening I'm just going to make myself some dinner quite soon. It's just getting on, and then do some cleaning up, and that'll be my day. Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? I'm going to be honest with you, I'm taking a little bit of a shift in the way I'm trading. So, as you guys know, if you've been following along or watching my journey, I only trade Euro US dollar. And the reason for that is that I've backtested it more than any other pair, and I've noticed patterns that I notice more frequently, so I believe I understand it better. So what I'm going to shift basically from now on, I'm going to add a couple more pairs in to my watch list and what I'll be trading. And the reason for this is that I would like to be able to trade higher time frames. And with only trading one pair, I can't really trade the 4 hour time frame on just one pair, because I'll get maybe like one trade a month basically. And it's basically investing at that point, you know? So what I'm going to do instead is mainly focus on the 4 hour and daily time frame, looking for entries on the 4 hour mostly. Potentially 1 hour on only one of the pairs though, but that's why I want to increase the pairs. So I want to increase it, so I'll be looking at 4 different pairs on the 4 hour time frame. So I'll be swing trading essentially instead of scalping on the 15-minute time frame, because the higher time frames usually have a higher win probability, and it allows me to do other things and focus on other things and not have to be sitting here at the charts every single waking minute of the day basically. Now, the 4 pairs that I've picked, there are a reason for them. So obviously the first one you could probably guess is still going to be Euro US dollar. Second one is going to be the pound JPY, the Euro Swiss franc, and then gold. Now, the reason I've picked these 4 pairs is that they're not very correlated with each other. So they're all still fairly major pairs. I mean, pound JPY isn't a major pair, but they're still quite important forex pairs to be trading. They're not like exotic pairs, for example. But these 4 pairs are very heavily traded and they aren't really correlated, meaning I could trade all 4 of them at the same time if I really wanted to. So what I'm basically doing is looking for the same strategy, the same entries in all the 4 different pairs. Obviously, each pair moves differently, so there'll be some things I'll probably miss out on, to be honest with you. But the whole objective is that I can hold trades for much longer periods of time and be a lot more comfortable just allowing my trades to play out over a couple of weeks basically. I will be risking 1% per trade because it is a higher time frame. But yeah, I'm feeling quite happy about this decision, because I definitely think it's a more positive thing to do than just sit and stare at one chart all day and yeah, basically try 4 setups when I don't really see any. Another thing I'm also considering, I'm sorry for the amount of information I'm throwing at you right now, but I'm curious if I should go back to my old format of recording in terms of just giving you a weekly end recap on the weekend about all the trades I've taken and what I'll be looking for the next week, instead of doing this vlog format, because I mean, I don't really do too much in my life, to be honest with you. I work a part-time job, I've applied for a second part-time job, and with waiting for 4 hour setups to play out, it won't be very entertaining for you to watch, or I won't really need to update you on a daily basis. But I mean, that's obviously up to you guys. I'm still happy to record like this and update you every single morning on the charts, what I'll be looking for. But if you think it'll be more entertaining if I just do a weekly recap of the entire week, please do let me know, because I want to make sure this content on this channel is best fit for you. Okay, so guys, I know it's quite late in the day to start looking at the charts because it's pretty much 11 a.m. But yeah, so here are the 4 charts or pairs basically that I'll now be looking at when it comes to what I'll be trading. And as you can tell, I'm looking at the 4 hour time frame because bigger picture is obviously a lot more intact and important than the lower time frame. So instead of me looking at the 15-minute on EU trying to scalp little moves up, I'll be more focusing on the 4 hour, but on 4 different pairs instead of just one. I haven't taken this trade, don't worry, ignore that. So I'm going to go over these 4 pairs and tell you exactly what I'm looking for each one, and basically what my overall bias is at the moment. So let's start with obviously the good old one, Euro US dollar. Now, I've said many times, been looking for buys. Now, the reason for that, I'll quickly clear this actually, and I'll refresh your memory a little bit if you're new here. So the reason I'm looking for buys, if we go on the daily, this is my last impulse to the upside, and then here is my corrective structure, as you can see. So at any point, this is complete for me. And we've got an aggressive reaction like so, but at the moment, it's just fallen straight back down again. And that's not really what you would want to see in this scenario, right? You would want to see a sharp up and then a slow move to the downside so I can re-enter the market for this up move. Now, because it came so sharp down, I actually don't think we're ready to move to the upside quite yet. I think instead we might have some sort of structure like so, which might be a little bit more complex, and we actually may be going down even further to most likely parity level or very close to it. Okay, so I do believe we'll get more downside for the moment before we get that bigger buy setup that I'll definitely be looking for. So back down to the 4 hour. So there is a potential, if I actually go back all the way here, on the 4 hour, there is potentials for me to sell it because of I'm thinking on the daily we got more downside coming. What I'll be doing is looking to see if this does sort of give me some sort of structure that I can clearly recognize, which I can happily take the sell for one more down, breaking these bottoms. Now, obviously, this is quite a short-term trade, but it is still very valid as long as it actually gives me the setup I'm wanting to see. So that's Euro US dollar. Let's go on to pound Japanese yen. Now, this might get a bit weird now because I've never looked at these with you guys before. But very simply, on the daily, what I'm looking for is this is my last move down. And then my corrective structure, it's a bit weird because it is moving sharp down here at the moment, but it's not exactly what you would want to see. Currently, the only structure I can see is this. So that is my, it's a bit hard to explain. So this is my impulse, this is all my correction, and this is my next impulse. So this is my corrective structure. And now we actually could be going all the way down to break this low again on the daily. Now keep in mind that is the daily time frame. So it's quite a higher, bigger picture. But at the moment, on the 4 hour, what I'll basically be doing is I'm expecting this to at least come and break this top one more time. But then after that has happened, I'm very likely going to be looking to sell this down towards that bigger picture move on the 4 hour time frame. Now, how I get into that market, well, I'm not really sure at the moment, to be honest with you, because even if it does come up here, I would want to see a reaction and then some sort of smaller move where I can actually get into the sells at the moment. So this one's a bit on the back burner, to be honest with you. I'm not 100% confident on the structure that I see on the daily, but I still do see it. Moving on to gold now, and gold, I'm sure, loved by many, many of you out there. Now, basically, very simply on the daily, what I'm looking for is a breakdown below this level. Okay, now, that might not come soon. That might not even come until like April or later in the year. Who really knows? But this is my move down. This is my corrective structure. So any point I'll be looking to short this to either correct one more time for one more up or just drop all the way and break this low. Either way, I can still look for these shorts. So at the moment, it is looking more likely we might get something very similar to this, but just here, so something like that. And then the drop will come. But either way, I can still short this because this is the daily time frame, keep in mind. So on the 4 hour, what I'll basically be looking for now is an impulse down and then some sort of corrective structure where I can get into the market and short gold, basically. Very, very simple as that, but it obviously hasn't given us that first move down yet, so we have to wait and see if that actually does come. Moving on to US dollar Swiss franc. Now, daily time frame. Daily. So this is a little bit more complex. I have to admit, to me, this is very messy. I need to sort of look more into all of these pairs, to be honest with you, because Euro US dollar is one I've been tracking for ages now. So I'm very clear what my bias is in it. But the US dollar Swiss franc, I'm a little bit more unsure of. But at the moment, I'm just trading the last impulse I see, basically. So at the moment, I have this is my corrective structure coming down on my pullback because it's just one move. And this is my last impulse. Now, what I'll basically be doing is seeing if this comes down very slowly for me. So I can look to enter more buys to the upside to break these top once more. After that, I'm not really sure what I'll be doing unless it clearly gives me a big breakdown again for more downside. But short term, basically looking for buys on Euro Swiss franc also. So yeah, guys, I'm curious what you think about me switching to 4 different pairs now. And also your opinion on the 4 pairs I've picked, because the reason I've picked these, they aren't very correlated. They all move very independently from one another. But I would much prefer doing this type of trading where I'm swing trading and I can just hold for a week period of time or even longer. And I don't really have to keep checking the charts all the time and stuff like that. So I can check it, see if there's any setups for the day. And that's basically it, which gives me a lot more free time to do whatever I really want. And again, guys, please do let me know actually about the format of these videos you want to see. I'm curious if you want more stuff like this, where I'm just at the chart, at my computer, talking to you about the charts, or you want to see more of my personal life and things like that, because I'm going to be honest with you, my personal life, not really much happens. It's quite boring because I'm trying to make it as a trader so badly, and I do work part-time to make an income on the side also. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the video format on this channel also, and I'll hopefully adjust it to something more enjoyable for all of you at home. But because this is not setting up yet, to be honest with you, I'm going to go watch some Counter-Strike. So if any of you follow CS or anything like that, there is the IM Katowice at the moment, so I'm going to be watching all of these games. Still, I know I quit CS. I don't play it anymore. Any of you know me personally know I've quit CS, but I still do love following the pro scene, and I'm very, very interested in it. So when we're doing any gambling, don't worry about that. But yeah, I still do love following along with the scene, so it's very, very interesting to me. So I'll do that while waiting for any setups to play out, basically. Okay, guys, I don't know what's going on. I've restarted my computer twice now, but my webcam isn't turning on, so you're going to have to deal without seeing me for today. So currently 7 a.m. This is 30 minutes just before I go to a Zoom meeting with one of the seniors in the We Trade Waves community. So I'm going to quickly go over my 4 charts with you on the 4 hour and think what I'm basically looking for. So as you guys remember, on EU, we'll start with the best one. EU, I was wanting to see a slow move up so I could sell it. You know, that's what my bias was. Currently, we have sharp up, sharp down, and sharp up again. It's a bit hard to know because this section here was manipulation over the weekend. So this section is a bit iffy, and even though it technically is movement, because it's moved from here to here, it shouldn't have really have happened in terms of the pattern that was forming. We could actually be going up to break this top again. So currently I'm just going to focus on trading the next wave very simply. So at the moment, this is my last impulse. So if this comes down slowly like so and gives me some sort of clear entry that I can see, I'll definitely be looking to take the buys short term just to break these tops once more, basically. But at the moment, I think EU is probably the most likely one that I would actually look to enter. If we go on the other pairs, so let's move on to pound Japanese yen. I have to admit, this one is very, very complex. So at first, I was thinking this is my last impulse, and this would be my corrective structure. Down like so. And then from here, from this section here, I thought we were going to go and break these tops. And obviously we didn't do that. It's gone up and came straight back down. So the other structure I see is that this could be my first impulse. This could then be my corrective structure, like so, which makes this the internal structure, which is disgusting and very, very complex. And because we've just broken this top here, we have technically finished it. So we actually could already have completed our correction, and we could also now just keep going to the downside for the moment. At the moment, because of how much of a mess it is, I'm probably going to stay out of it, to be honest with you, and not actually look to trade this. Even if it does slowly come up like so, I probably will not be interested in this pair for the moment. US dollar, Swiss franc, this one, what we were hoping for actually was a slow move down like so, correct to some of these areas, and then look for the buys. But obviously, as you've seen, sharp up, sharp down once again, like Euro US dollar basically. So this does sort of change in a way what I can look for, because I was looking to buy this, obviously, like I said, but because of how deep it's came to this last move, I'll probably again have to stay out of it, to be honest with you. Even if it does give something like this, I probably won't be looking to sell it, to be honest with you. I would want to see it break down, and then I could look for my sells around this area here. Moving on to gold. Gold is still at all-time highs, basically. I mean, pretty much all-time highs. As I've said many times, the daily time frame, I'm expecting at least something like this, something very similar to this one, just over here. That is the minimum I'll be expecting. The best scenario, obviously, it could just keep going and then break this bottom. That is the best scenario. But at the moment, minimum I'll be expecting is something like so. Very similar to this one here. And then one more up. So either way, I can still look to sell this because this is the daily time frame. So if I move down to the 4 hour now, what I'm basically waiting for now is any sharp break to the downside and a slow move up, I'll be looking to short it essentially. But yeah, at the moment, EU I think is the most likely one I will be taking a trade on, which would be a buy. Anywhere around this area here, I'll be looking to enter the market. The only news we have today is unemployment claims for the US dollar, and obviously NFP tomorrow on the Friday. So to be honest with you, this might not even give me any setups. This might just do something very quick like so. before NFP, and then it might just go spike up with the NFP. Who really knows? Either way, I'll be at work during NFP, so I won't be trading it. So most likely, guys, I don't think there'll be any trades for this week, and we'll move into next week, hopefully with some more setups. Now, obviously, I'm swing trading now, so these videos are going to be probably a lot more boring. And when I actually do take a trade, you'll see me hold them for much longer periods of time instead of just quick day trades, basically. What's up, guys? So it's currently the Saturday. I've just finished work, had a shower, all that stuff. I just thought I'd quickly talk to you, actually, very, very briefly, but just about how I'm feeling about this week. So obviously I didn't take any trades again. That is sort of a broken record thing for me at the moment. Haven't taken a trade in quite a while now. Actually, I'm feeling good about the high time frame buys that I'm going for over multiple pairs. Obviously, that's what I want to talk to you about. So the big reason I'm switching to 4 pairs is very simply I'll see more setups, but also they'll have a higher win rate because they're on a higher time frame. But the key thing is I need to be a bit more patient waiting for them to actually play out, because there are some sort of trades I could have forced on EU, but that is the key word there, it's forced. If you're forcing structure and forcing a vision in the market which isn't actually there, that is when you really shouldn't be trading at all. So I'll only be trading the actual trades that are very clear to me and I can see very, very easily without having to force that structure, like I said. So yeah, no trades this week. Thank you for watching. I'll probably switch my format of the video to more a recap style vlog series, but obviously I still can talk to you every single morning about the charts and what I'll be expecting for that day. If you're still interested in me doing that, please do just let me know in the comments and I'll happily do that for you. So subscribe if you're new to the channel, make sure to like the video, I really do appreciate it. It's Glaze, guys, I'll see you next week.